Hello everyone, my name is Imade and I'm your fellow cohort. So this particular video is going to help everyone to understand the use of EBSCO host, how to create a search strategy, how to make use of CASP, how to make use of the mesh browser and other synonym finders on the internet. Here we'll be making use of the mesh browser, Thesaurus, Google Scholar, CAPS, and any other web page that will be useful during the use of our search. We already have a sample research question that we are going to be using. We'll use this question, we'll form our PICO table because this question is a PICO question, and after that we'll go ahead to start looking for synonyms and all that. As we continue, you will get more insight about what we want to do. Listen and be blessed. Thank you. So basically, this research question is just a sample question that most of us might have seen. So it's a very clear question and everyone can see it. The research question states, physical activities rather than diet is linked to lower insulin resistance in PCOS women, a case study control. Obviously, this question is very clear and it's asking. We'll be able to find out this at the later time in the video. This question has already been able to let us know that it is a PICO because there is an intervention and there is a comparator. We all know what an intervention is. This is where what the researcher is the one that is trying. The researcher is the person that gives out like a treatment to the population. So in this case, our population is PCOS women basically, because we already know that PCOS can only be in women, and our intervention here is physical activities. We are comparing it with diets, just like the question has said, and our outcome is insulin resistance, just like the question says. Physical activities rather than diet, is it linked to lower insulin resistance? That is what we are going to be doing now. So we have been able to form our table and move ahead. Just to know, this is just to make it clearer. Most times, if you are not able to form your table in this manner, you could always write it on paper. But this is easier just because of this video. So we are going to go ahead to form our synonyms. First, we are going to go on mesh browser. So we are on mesh browser and we are starting with our first, which is the PCOS women, which we are going to copy and paste on mesh browser. Just while we're doing that, with me, I also have some of our other cohorts who are also assisting me here. Mr. Olela, Mr. Emmanuel, Mr. Harrison, Mr. Bashi, who will come in later on. Mr. Harrison is being very helpful in this video also, so you get to hear from them towards the middle of or towards the end of the video. Thank you. So we'll go ahead to search exact. When you have inserted the first word, which is PCOS, we'll go to exact match and click. In this case, there is no exact match. We go on mesh on demand. The mesh on demand is on the left hand side. Tree view. You can obviously see there is no search. Please confirm, Mr. Ima, are you on mesh browser too? Okay. You can see, please be on mesh browser. You can see that there is nothing there for us to search. So we have to go back to another synonym. We have power thesaurus on ground and we are going to check to see possible synonyms of PCOS. Okay. We have possible synonyms. We have insulin resistance, ovarian sites. I think ovarian site is like the most, could you open it to check what it says? Ovarian, not that. Ovarian site, yes. Okay. Ovarian site, is that a good synonym for PCOS?
Okay.
Yes. Is that a good synonym? Okay, so we are going to include ovarian site. We're going to just copy and paste back to our table while we still search for other possible synonyms. That's fine. We'll go back to power thesaurus to check for others. Please go scroll down a little bit. Okay, we're not really getting much here, so that's where Google comes in. So we'll actually go on Google to check for possible synonyms of PCOS. We have it giving us a full name. So basically, we would actually have to come back to check if there are possible synonyms. While every other person is checking for possible synonyms, we'll go ahead to our intervention, which is physical activities. And back again, we'll go to our mesh browser and search. Inside physical activities, exact match. This is cool. So physical activities is giving us exercise, right? So we could copy that on, we checked on tree view and we're seeing exercise. So we could just copy and paste on our table. We'll call it metrics table like the one called it the other day. So we can also check for more synonyms on thesaurus, or let's go on thesaurus to check for possible synonyms. Okay, we have workout, we have training. Just scroll down a little. Scroll down. Go up, let's go for, I think workout is good, right? So we're going to copy workout. Workout is fine, right? Yeah. So we'll go back to our table and include workout. For now, it's very important to have as many synonyms as possible, but because this is a video, we're just trying to give you an example of what it looks like. So we'll move over to our comparator. We could always go back to include more synonyms later. So we're on our comparator and we're back on mesh browser and we're searching. Diets, remember, is our comparator. And tree, let's go to the mesh structure. Diet, what do we have on diet? Any synonym on mesh browser? Mesh browser is not giving us anything on diet. We have diet, food, and nutrition. Yeah. Yes. So we could copy it out basically. There's selection of food. I think this is good, right? Yeah. So we could actually include selection of food. This is from Google, right? Thesaurus. Thesaurus gave us. Can we go back to the tree? Go back to our table. Our table. So include selection of food. Diet, yes, it's obviously selection of food. Food and nutrition. Yes, nutrition. These are possible synonyms to it. Food, nutrition. Have you included that one I gave you? Yes. Is this selection of food or food selection? Yeah. Selection of food. So
but I think I'll suggest to go with a single word or synonym.
Food selection.
A single word synonym. Later we can either use food.
Food and diet.
We can either use food.
Food and nutrition.
Okay, we have written nutrition.
So I think it's better we just go with
Food and nutrition.
Yeah.
So move ahead to our insulin resistance. which is our outcome. And back to mesh browser. And our tree. We're not. Are we getting anything on mesh browser? Are we getting anything on mesh browser? Any synonym on mesh browser? So insulin resistance on Tesserus, please. Glucose intolerance. That's a good one. Metabolic syndrome. Should we go with glucose intolerance? So glucose intolerance it is. So pick it, and you can always check it here. It's mutual. You get. You can also check for the definition of insulin resistance just to be very sure of what you are picking on Tesserus, because Tesserus might give you like a synonym, but it's not relating to what you are doing. So you can, if you are not sure or you do not know the definition of the word, you can always make sure you check Wikipedia or any dictionary to be sure of the word. So I think we could just pick one more synonym. Mr. Iman, have you found any synonym? Insulin resistance. So any other synonym? So we'll check on Google right now for of insulin resistance. Just so we have like 3. You get. You can have as many as possible, but this is just a sample. So no, insulin resistance. Insulin resistance. Yeah. Insulin resistance, please. I think that's okay. Okay. If we do not find on Google, we will make use of the one we found on Power Thesaurus. Metabolic syndrome it is. So we'd copy and back to our Word document. Back to our Word document, and I'm thinking we should find another synonym for PCOS women, just to have 2 of each, since that's what we're working with now, just for sample. Can we like look for another synonym for PCOS women, please? Um, should we let's go back on Power Thesaurus. Paste info. We have included that. So go up, go down, sorry. Yeah. So we'll just go with just that one, ovarian site. That was what we used. Hmm? Ovarian cyst. Ovulation, I think, is on Thesaurus. Please go back to Thesaurus. There's something about period. Go up. Irregular periods. What do you think? Check the mutual. It's good. Irregular period. So we would include irregular periods to our synonyms for PCOS women. And back to our document and paste. So we are done with our table, and we just have to move ahead to EBSCO host immediately. While we are on EBSCO host, I will also create another Word document where we would also be arranging our search strategy. So please go back and guess how to open to EBSCO host. Please go back. So cancel that, cancel. So we'll type W, or you can just type EBSCO host, but easily if you're going to be using your university site, you could just type WLV EBSCO host. No, WLV EBSCO host. EBSCO host together. Yeah. So you could just use it instead. You press go to database. Come on. So here you're on EBSCO host, you press select all because we want to search for all letters and everything possible. So we're ticking select all and continue. That is it. So we are now on EBSCO host and we want to go to start our search. We have to click on advanced search. Make sure that please go back. Don't be right. You need to understand that you do not make that mistake. Make sure that before you continue, you have clicked on advanced search. Thank you. So we are here on EBSCO hosts, and we're about to start putting in our synonyms. We're going to cut this part. So let me write so that I don't start going back. What did you use? Go back to your Word document so that I can type it. Yes, it's better. You understand? So that you will not be opening it. Please, you also start creating another for search strategy because we'll be doing it. Do you think we should do it together or after we're done? So I think it's even better that way. Are you ready? This Igbo song is I don't understand.
Search.
Strategy, just type it. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. So I want to start. We're starting again. Go back. So we are back on EBSCO hosts, and we're going to basically start with our population, which is most important. You have to start with your population. It gives your work more coordination. So initially on our population, we had PCOS women. So we are going to type PCOS women at the beginning on this place, yes, we're going to type PCOS women, which is our first population. Then we'll go to select a field. Yes. Then there are a lot of options. You could either search for TI, which is title. You could actually search for SU, which is subject term, or you could search for abstract, which is AB. So in this case, we are going to just to make you all understand that you can actually search on different ways. We are going to be using TI and abstract in this case. So we'll first search for TI, then we search. it's giving us 1,386 results. So as you can see, so this is like the articles available. So we go to search history. We go to search history, and it makes it easier for us to see all we have done when we start our search strategy. So we go back to our search and clear out PCOS women. No, put it back, sorry. So like I said, we are searching for TI and AB, which is title and abstract. Since we search for title, we'll also search for abstract. So abstract and search. In this case, we had 13,631 articles searching for PCOS women abstract. So we can go and clear off PCOS, since like I stated earlier, we're only searching for TI and AB. And remember, AB is abstract, TI is title. So we go ahead to the next synonym, which was ovarian. So this is what we have, and like we said, we are going on to search for TI and abstract. So we are going to search for TI first. And we got 3,889 articles. Then we're going to search for abstracts. Remember, we are still on the population. And we got 7,590 articles on the second synonym. So we'll go to the third one, and which is irregular periods. We'll clear and put in irregular periods. Remember, always remember to come check what you are searching for. Either you are searching for TI or abstract. So here we always search for TI first. So search, please. And we got 64 as a result. Then we move on to search for the abstract on the third synonym. Search. And we got 1,203 words, articles from irregular periods. So we have searched for the second synonym, and we'll move ahead to the third, which is irregular period. One thing we must note, you should be very careful with your spellings, because one single mistake in your spelling can change your search or affect your whole research. And back again, we have to go to our search, select a field, and change it to TI, which is title, and search. So in a case, for example, in this case, we are searching for irregular period. In a case we made mistake and typed irregular periods, please include S. And we searched. This was our mistake. This is how you delete. You come here, click on that particular place you want to delete. Click on just that part. Then go to delete searches. Here. Delete. So it goes off. So this is how you are meant to delete. So we know that we were searching for irregular periods and not irregular period and not irregular periods. So we have searched for TI, we search for abstract. Search. And we're able to get 1,203 articles. So in this case, we know that irregular and periods are different words. Like in the case of PCOS women, we all know that PCOS and is only in women, and whatever is going to come out is going to give us the same thing. and this the second one that has to do with ovarian site is same thing. So irregular will give us a different search and period a different search. So in this case, I want to be very specific in my search. So I'm going to add a quotation, right? In this case, regular and period are different words. So I think I'm not getting what I want, and I want to narrow down my search to be specific. I do not want to have search from irregular and search from period. I want to have specific search, which is irregular period. So I'm going to delete my searches in this place right now. S5 and X6. I'm going to delete S5 and S6. Just like I showed you earlier, delete search. So I'm going to include quotation. This is a boolean operator or something. I think that is what it's called. It's a boolean operator. So I'm going to search for TI. You can see my search is now reduced to 3 because I'm more specific. So I'm going to search for abstract using boolean operator, and I got 18, which is more specific, and that is fine. So we are going to move ahead. Go back. We are going to move ahead, and we are going to now put our population in a search strategy. So before we do that, we now have to search with and, meaning we are going to click on every population from the down part. Yeah, select all. You could just press select all, then search with all. We are searching with all because they are all synonyms to PCOS women. So we are searching for PCOS or ovarian site or irregular period, and we got 23,648 searches. So which is good for us, and we can move ahead to our search strategy. So we want to create our search strategy. So we are using the same Word document just to make it easier. So please type search strategy. Strategy. Incorrect. So just like we all know, number one, and we're back to our EBSCOs. And we'll start with PCOS women, which is S1, S1, S2. So S1, PCOS women, we're adding S1, S2, which is TI and abstract. TI and abstract. You could actually write it in short form. Whoever is looking at your work would understand. So number two, we're searching S3, S4, which is ovarian site. We search for only title and abstract. So we're going to write ovarian site, title and abstract, or TI and AB. Whichever one, whoever is reading is going to understand. Make sure you correct your spellings. Make sure your spellings are correct because it matters in the search. So for whoever is looking at your work to actually get the same result as you. So back to our population, irregular period, research, TI and abstract. So remember we had a Boolean operator. You must include the Boolean operator to state that include the Boolean operator, so that whoever is searching is aware. TI and AB. So back to, so we would now add S1 or S2 or S3 or S4, S5. We don't need to copy it, so we will come back, we would write hashtag 1, hashtag 1, or hashtag 2, or hashtag 3. That's it. And that's it. So we'll now move on to our, so we are done and we move on to our intervention. Remember, anyhow you want to do it depends on you. You can finish all search on EBSCO host and start your search strategy. But in this case, we are doing, once we search for our peak population, we arrange it on our search strategy, move on to intervention, do the same thing, do the same thing. It just depends on you and how, which method goes well for you. You can do all of them, then start your search strategy later, whichever one. So our first intervention is physical activities. We have cleared our population, so we're typing physical activities. Okay. So we are searching for TI first. Search. And we got 188,343 articles. Then we're searching for it in abstract, AB. And we got 440,265 articles. So our next synonym to physical activities is exercise, which we had already seen earlier. So in this case, we found exercise on Mesh browser. So I would explain to you, I know most of you would have been thinking why I have not included SU or anything in our search. When you are making use of EBSCO host, it depends on your understanding, it depends on your topic, it depends on your research. All information we wrote on our population, all synonyms, none was found on Mesh browser. That was why I did not use subject term, meaning SU, to search for it. I would have still decided to use SU, but I really do not want to actually go deep on it. It just depends on your question, like I said. If it gets to a situation I do not get the needed articles on this search, I would have to actually include SU or alt text. It just depends on what you're searching for. You could search as much as possible. You could search SU, you could search TI, you could search abstract. For this case that exercise was gotten from Mesh browser, you can actually search SU now, subject term. So any word, to make it easier for you, any word that you found on Mesh browser, you can search it on SU, and you can still decide not to search it as SU. You can just decide to search it as TI and abstract. But in this case, in this my search, because I found exercise on Mesh browser, I'm going to be searching it on SU, which is subject term, on TI, which is title, and on AB, which is abstract. So I'm starting with SU, which gave me 849,377. So I'm moving on to title. You can see how many articles it gave us. And abstract, I'm very sure abstract will be more, but let's see. And yes, it gave us more articles, and we are good to go. We'll move on to the next synonym, which is workout. Copy and paste it on. Don't forget to always cancel out workout. So I got workout. I didn't get workout on Measure, so I'm just going to search it on TI and AB. So I'm getting 13,000 up to 30,000. So I'll search on AB, which will give me 1, obviously, and gave me over 34,000. So you can all see. Always remember to cancel, clear this your search page. Never leave it like that. We are done, and we want to search with all. That is, we're searching for all synonyms, physical activities or exercise or workout all together in one. We are going to combine and search with all. Go up. Remember, we cleared this place. In a case you do not clear this place, there would always be a bracket, meaning you have made a mistake. you need to be sure that there is no bracket. It is because we have cleared our searches. Always remember to clear this place, make it empty before you do a new search. And you can see it gave us over 1 million articles. So we are back here and we'll clear. We're always clearing so that when we want to do a next search, we will not make mistake. We're always ready. Because we're done with our intervention, I'm going to go back to my search strategy and arrange everything that has been done there. So we have hashtag 5, which is physical activities. Physical activity, sorry. Always remember your spellings can change your whole search. Physical activities. Title, abstract. So now, hashtag 6. We found exercise on mesh browser. So I can decide to write exercise subject term or SU or mesh term. So in this case, I'm going to type exercise mesh term, smaller letters. Go. Smaller letters. So together, mesh them together so that it is known. So one thing you should notice that you really do not have to state it there that it is a mesh term. So writing mesh term there would understand that the word was gotten from mesh term, and the person looking at your work can actually just first search for it on SU. So you could have either decided to write mesh term or write SU there. So it just depends on you. So in this case, we are writing mesh term or SU or SU. So it could have either been this way. It could have either been this way. It could have either been this way, exercise SU or exercise subject term. But in this case, I want us to use mesh term because that's where we got it. So when you look at this search strategy, when you want to search for it on EBSCO you could just write exercise SU because it was a mesh term. Then next one, exercise. Remember, we also searched for it on title and abstract. So we're writing exercise TI and AB. So workout, we searched for it only on title and abstract. So we're writing workout TI and AB. So number 8, sorry, number 8, then number 9. Then we are going to add all our searches together, which is hashtag 5, hashtag 6, or 7, or 8. Thank you. So we'll move on to our diet, which is the comparator. So we're starting with diets. Back to EBSCO host. You see our place is already cleared and waiting for us. So we include diets. Then we're searching on TI basically, title. And I'm getting 200, over 200 articles. I'm searching on abstract, over 700 articles, and I'm clearing. Do not forget to clear. Then I will search for food. Then food, I got it on mesh browser, so I could decide to search SU right now basically. So I'm getting over 1 million, and I'm searching TI now, and food is a big word. 500. Good. Then AB, obviously this is going to be over a million. Yes, and I was right. It gave me over a million words. Yeah, and sorry, and we'll go to the last synonym, which is nutrition. Remember, we also got it from mesh browser. So we'll search TI, we'll search SU, then we'll search TI, then we search AB. This all has to do with patience. You have to be very patient with yourself. It's not really easy, but you have to be very patient. So we have our comparator together. So as usual, we select only comparators together. That is diet or food or nutrition, search with all. Remember to cancel. Yes. Search with all. And we have over 3 million articles, and we are back to our search strategy, and we have diets, we have diets, ci and abstracts. Yes. Then we have food, mesh term. Then we have food again, ci and abstracts. Then we have food nutrition, mesh term, and nutrition again, TI and AB. So we include all, hashtag 14, hashtag 15. So we include all comparators, which is hashtag 10, hash or 11 or 12 or 13 or 14. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And back to our table. Lastly, outcome, insulin resistance. So we clear insulin resistance. So we're searching with TI, search with TI, and we have over 42,000 results. Searching with abstract, I know we'll get more, I guess. Over 100,000. So next is glucose intolerance. The next synonym, which would clear, I I think I would include the quotation here because I could probably get a separate search, or it's still good. Still good. Yeah. Still good. Probably I would have loved to use more Boolean operators, but let's just move on. But I think I explained Boolean operator during the intervention. No, during the population, I used the Boolean operator during the intervention. So you can see it, and you can always use a Boolean operator when you're not getting right synonyms of stops and order. So we're back to our EBSCO host, and so we're searching for metabolic syndrome, which is our last outcome. Title, and 55,000 and abstract, which is 100,000, over 100,000. So that's good. We clear it off. Then we or them. We or them. Makes sense. Insulin resistance or glucose intolerance or metabolic syndrome. Search with or. And we have over 200,000 searches. Clear. And back to our search strategy. Back to our search strategy. So we have insulin resistance on number 16. So insulin resistance done. Glucose intolerance. Glucose intolerance 17. Research on TI and AB. Then 18. Metabolic syndrome. TI and abstract. So we join them and we have number 19, hashtag 16 or 17 or 18. Hashtag 16, 17 or 18. Or 18 or 16 or 17 or 18. So we'll go back to EBSCO because we're done with searching with or and want to search with and we'll go down back to the population. In the population, we have already searched with all. So we click search with all and go to the intervention where we have already searched with all and click. Then go to comparator, we've searched with all and click. Go to outcome, search, click, and we go to search with hand as you can see. And wonderful, we got 145 articles, which is fair, I think. Then we clear. Okay, so we'll now go to see our articles which are available for search. We'll go back to our search strategy first and include it. Number 20, we have hashtag hashtag 4 and hashtag 9, which is our intervention, and we'll go to our comparator, which is hashtag 15 and our outcome, which is hashtag 19, obviously. And we are good to go. Back to EBSCO host. Then we scroll down to see our 145 reports. So in this case, we are now going to go to this next step, which is to actually select 3 primary articles from the 145 searches that we have found. We are meant to choose 3 primary articles from our search, which I have done already, which you are meant to do at least in your own time. You can be able to find out if the article is a primary search by checking the abstract or the methodology, or reading everything concerning the article if you are not sure. So we have picked three articles. The first article, which is abdominal obesity in women with polycystic ovarian syndrome and its relationship with diet, physical activities, and insulin resistance. The second article we picked is physical activity rather than diet is linked to lower insulin resistance in PCOS women, a control study. And the third one is eating habits among women with polycystic ovary syndrome (PCOS) on a vegetarian versus non-vegetarian diet. I was able to search for my primary articles using the abstract and the methodology, or probably you could just read the whole article if you have the time. So using these three articles, I'm going to pick one of these articles which I have already copied out the Harvard references and their name on a Word document, which I would pick one to talk about on my CASP checklist. So I think I'll be using eating habits among women with polycystic ovarian syndrome. So I will go to CAPS and keep my topic CAPS. You could just type CAPWV or just type CASPS. So CAPS checklist, and we're there. So under this CAPS checklist, we can all see there are different options, either if it's an RCT or a systematic review or a qualitative study or a cohort study or a case study, case control study. So we'll go back to the article we want to work on EBSCO hosts, and we to help us discover what kind of article it is so that we know what checklist we are going to be using. So we have selected our three primary articles. It's very important that for each article you'll be able to try to discover what kind of study design is being used. It's not quite an easy one, so you need to actually like review the abstract, the methodology, if possible read the whole article to try to discover if that particular article is a cohort or case control. In this case, we have already done that, and we have this particular one we're picking is eating habits among women with polycystic ovary syndrome, which is a case control, study. And we'll go to our CAPS, and there's an option for case control, and we go to a PDF form. So it's your duty to actually go and discover what kind of primary article it is. Also note, your primary article should actually relate to the question that you pick. It makes the work less easier. So we have opened our CAPS, and we have to download. Sorry. Just testing. So the first question here states, can you increase? It's okay. The first question states, did before we start, we're supposed to put back the reference in here, paper of appraisal and reference. So we'll go back to Word documents, copy reference and paste. Copy reference, then paste on CAPS checklist. Yes. So the first question says, did the study address a clearly focused issue? So we have copied the reference, which is in Harvard format, to CAPS, and we're starting with the first question. Did the study address a clearly focused issue? I am the one who read the study, so I can say it is a yes. So we are meant to drop a comment, and so hint on what you could write. An issue can be focused in terms of the population study, whether the study tried to detect a beneficial or harmful effect. So I already read the article, and the article was trying to detect if vegetarian or non-vegetarian diet is good to in treatment of PCOS women. So I can say yes, because yes, it did address a focused issue, because it was trying to check what diet was best for PCOS women, was best for treatment of PCOS women, something like that. Yeah, what diet was best in treatment of PCOS women. So did the author use an appropriate so the second question, did the author use an appropriate method to answer the question? Well, from what I read, it can be quite tricky, but I think it's a yes. So, second question says, did the author use an appropriate method to answer the question? So, the hint on how to answer this: consider in the case control study, is a control study an appropriate way of answering the question under the circumstances? Did it address the study question? Yes, I think it addressed the study question. But if case control was the most appropriate, I'm not so sure. So yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it addressed the study question, but not so clear if the study design used was the best. So number three, number this second part is it worth continuing? So number three question says, where the case is recruited in an acceptable way. Hint: we are looking for selection bias where which might compromise validity of the findings. Are the cases defined precisely? Were the cases representative of a defined population, geographical or temporally? Was there an was there an established reliable system for selecting all the cases? Are there incidents of prevalence? Is there is there something special about the cases? Is the time frame of the study relevant to the disease or exposure? Was there a sufficient number of cases selected? Was there a power calculation? I think are there incident there was no prevalence. I think there was no prevalence in from what I read. And as a case study, as a case control, it has to be a recall bias. And in this case, there was there a selection bias? Um, I think quite to some extent there was selection bias, because based on my reading, it was selected from 19 to 57 women. Are the cases defined precisely? I do not think it was precisely defined, because it was just an online survey and anybody would have just decided to tick anything they wanted. Were the cases representative of a defined population? No. Was there an established reliable system? I think there was, because there was a website for it, for selecting all the cases, but you can't rely on website because obviously, like I said, anybody would have been having access to the website. Is the time frame of the study relevant to the disease? No, because it stated that the study was done between January and March. And obviously, you can't use a 3 month diet, I feel, to actually determine um, if that is the it having a vegetarian meal will help in the treatment of PCOS just in 3 months. Was there a sufficient number of cases selected? Only 233 women were selected. I don't think that is sufficient enough. Was there a power calculation? Yes, there was. So in this case, I can say this is a no. Where the cases required is no. So my which I just stated in my comments, prevalence, there was no prevalence. The number of women were 233, which is not enough to determine the time frame was very short. Number 4, were the controls selected in an acceptable way? The hint says we are looking for selection bias which might compromise the generalization of the findings. General ability. Were the control representative of a defined population? Yes. Was there something special about the control? Yes. Was the non-response high? Could could non-respondent be different from A? Are they a number of controls selected? Were the controls yes, I think they were selected in an acceptable way. So there was sufficient control. We are were the control representative of the defined population? Yes, the population was defined as it was within women from 11 to 57. Number 5 states, was the exposure accurately measured to minimize bias? Um, we look for length, looking for measurement recall, or was the exposure clearly defined and accurately measured? Yes. Did the author use subjective or objective measurements? It was a subjective measurement. Do the measures truly reflect what they are supposed to measure? Not sure. Were the measurement methods similar in cases and control? No. Did the study incorporate blinding where feasible? No. Is the temporal relation correct? Does the exposure of interest precede does the exposure of interest precede the outcome? Yes, it did precede the outcome. It did precede the outcome actually. So basically, because of time, I would not or I would just comment in words but not type, so I can just move forward. So aside from the experimental intervention where the groups treated equally, list the ones you think might be important that the author may have missed: genetic, environmental, socioeconomy. I think socioeconomy, because some people were given vegetarian meal more vegetarian meal, more veg vegan meal, more you can type that vegan more vegan meals were given to some women in the control group. Have the authors taken account of potential confounding factors in design? Yes, I think they did, because let's look at the hints. Look for restrictions in design, modeling. They actually stated it there that so from their study you could tell that um vegetarian meal was more helpful, because they asked even those who had nuts, they it could show that they were still like there was not really changes from their there was no changes on them. Women that were already suffering PCOS and were eating non-vegetarian meal, they didn't have any difference within those 3 months. But women who were given more, there were little or slight changes in their um habits, eating habits and all. What are the results in section B? We're in section B now. So how large was the treatment effect? Let's see the hints. Consider what was the bottom line. It is the analytic approach to this. How strong is the association between exposure and outcome? Are the results adjusted for confounding, and might confounding still explain the association? Has adjustment made a big difference to the or? Well, I don't think the treatment has so much effect. I don't think it has so much effect. Basically, I do not think so. I do not think so. It was quite brief, so I really do not think so. So number 8, how precise was the estimate of the treatment? I think very precise. Let's read the hint and I will explain why. Consider the size of the p-value. The p-value, which is the population, we had over. So how precise was the estimate of the treatment? I think it was very precise, because you said from the hint is how significant was it? It was very significant. That one, I think the author was quite confident. How the author considered all the important variables. There was a statistic analysis. How was the effect of the subject refusing to participate or evaluate? It wasn't. I have not read deeply into the article, but I can't really tell that much. Do you believe the results? I think I do. So let's read the hint. Big effect to hard ignore. Can it be due to chance bias? Yes, they can be due to, can it they might be a bias. Are the design and methodology sufficiently flawed to make? Not really, but I actually do believe the result. That's just the thing. Section C. Can the result be applied to local population? Yes. Consider where they were covered in the study. Well, you can always read this later, but I think so. I know so. Do the result of this study fit with other available evidence? Can't tell. Like I said, I can't comment now, because I don't want to prolong this video. As you can see at the beginning, I dropped the link which was there. So this allows you to actually check out the article and try to know if my answers are correct. So after you are done, you are going to print, that is print, then file name. You can name it anything. CAPS diet. Make sure while saving the words are together, do not separate them. If not, you would not or probably not be able to save. So you have saved, then we'll go back to our Word document and save our Word document. Inside this Word document, we have our 3 primary articles, we have our set strategy, and we have our pico table, everything all together, and we would save. Control S, basically. We have our set strategy and we have our caps. We have our research question, our pico table, our set strategy, our three primary articles which has been selected, and their Harvard references, and we have our CAPS which has also been saved. So basically, you know that you are supposed to go upload your CAPS checklist after, then you know what next to do. So basically, I've been able to explain how to use everything. So guys, thank you for listening. This video is, like I said at the beginning, will help you understand how to arrange your set strategy, make use of EBSCO and CAPS. Like I said, this is just a sample work, and most of my answers on CAPS might not be completely correct. And if we had chosen a case control, is based on our understanding about a particular article. And I want to appreciate Mr. Harrison and Mr. Olela, Mr. Emmanuel, Mr. Bashi, and my beautiful lady here, Lydia, for their time and patience, and for also contributing to this video. I hope you find it helpful. Please drop comments and questions if needed. Thank you.